Khorne teams are a quintessential bash team, with much of their gameplay revolving around hitting the enemy team as much as possible, until the opponent has too few players to stop them from scoring. The abundance of frenzy makes for more opportunities for blocks, and therefore more opportunities to cause casualties. However, frenzy is a double-edged sword, having to follow up every push and block again if the pushed player is still standing, can result in unfavorable situations without foreplanning. Actually scoring touchdowns is not easy for Khorne, as their lower passing and agility can make moving the ball down the gridiron a slog. It's generally better to focus on causing enough casualties to be able to saunter the ball in later rather than trying to score early on. Bloodborne Marauders are the backbone of every Khorne team. They are cheap and therefore easily replaced should they suffer a glorious death in the name of the Blood God. They come with frenzy and an armor value of 8+, so there is a decent chance they will end up in fights they can't win unless you work very hard to back them up. Luckily, they're plentiful, and Khorne cares not from where the blood flows. Khorngors are your lifeline for touchdowns. Horns and Juggernaut make them excellent blitzers, and their AG of 3+ means they can serve as the team's ball carriers. The best fighters on the Khorne team are Bloodseekers. Their ST of 4 alleviates the dangers of frenzy somewhat, and their AV of 10+ keeps them around for longer. Bloodseekers are natural corners for a cage, and a hammer to smash through a solid defense. Bloodspawn take everything Khorne and ramp it up to 8. Claws make a mockery of heavy armor, and Mighty Blow +1 makes KOs and casualties more common. They're far less reliable when it comes to non-violent tasks, however, so focus them on hitting players. Bloodborne Marauders. The first skill pick should nearly always be block or wrestle, which make your Bloodborne more reliable. If a player gets a second skill, then tackle or kick are good choices, though only one player needs the latter. Khorngor. At least one Khorngor should be built as a ball carrier, and so block is always a good first choice. Dodge is a decent second skill, or 2 heads for a cheaper but lesser option to make them harder to knock down. From there you might want sure hands, extra arms, or even big hand to help pick the ball up in the first place. Another option is making a dedicated blitzer, with tackle, strip ball and 2 heads all good options for this. Bloodseekers. As with other players, block is a good first choice for Bloodseekers, though guard offers an excellent supportive alternative. Mighty Blow +1 and claws will result in more casualties, which in turn means more SPP. Bloodspawn. Guard or brawler are contenders for useful first skills, with one giving the Bloodspawn greater utility and the other making a bad roll less likely to hurt. A team that fights a lot is likely to suffer a few of their own injuries, so a Khorne team might need some help from time to time. Here are our top picks for star players that can provide such aid. 5. Max Spleen Ripper. A chainsaw fanatic with the maximum carnage special rule, Max Spleen Ripper has the ability to make 2 chainsaw attack special actions once per game to carve open the opposition defenses at the perfect moment. 4. Akhorne the Squirrel. Bloodthirsty and relatively cheap, Akhorne is a furry bundle of blind rage, his special rule, and claws. Akhorne shares the spirit of Khorne teams and will quickly make mincemeat out of any opposition player foolish enough to underestimate his adorable yet extremely violent little frame. 3. Glart Smash Rip. With block, claws and Juggernaut, Glart is a highly skilled Bloodseeker disguised as a giant overfed rat. Glart is slower than every other Khorne player, so has to be positioned well, but an extra ST4 player is always a welcome addition. His Frenzied Rush special rule temporarily gives him Frenzy too. 2. Grashnak Blackhoof. Need a fast-moving and deadly friend for your Khorngors, or an upgraded replacement while they recover from their injuries? Well, Grashnak Blackhoof is your Minotaur. Horns and Mighty Blow +1, plus a high strength, mean he hits hard and is fast enough to keep up with your Khorngors. 1. Hakflem Scuttle Spike. Yes, the #1 star player for a Khorne team is a Skaven, but with good reason. Bringing everything the Khorne team is lacking, speed, agility, and reliable ball carrier skills, Hakflem is a fantastic addition to a struggling team, allowing the other players to focus on the smashing opposing teams to a pulp part of Blood Bowl.